back at it again. Welcome back. Glad you made it. It's another social production. That's right, we're doing it on Wednesday, October the 22nd, 2025. Motherfucking Wednesday, yeah. Doing it wherever you are, the beautiful heterosexuals out there, my beautiful faggots out there, my whiteys, my honkies, what up to my niggas, over there, my chinks, over there, my sad niggas, over there is Wagwan to me familiar, down south, let's start with the up top, Canada, and everybody else in between, to all the colors. Everybody doing it all day, every day. To me familiar, if you're tuning in from Canada, Wagwan. If you are tuning in from the Americas, all 50 states, beautiful people. Further down south, even more beautiful people in Mexico, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Antarctica, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, Australia, of course. Who else did I leave out? Over there in Zimbabwe. Over there, my Itais, my Mix, my Kikes. Over there in, did we cover everybody? I think we did. Good to be alive. Another beautiful day. Thank you for joining me. Let's get a sip of this bad boy right here. First and foremost, let us lube the old vocal cords together. Lots of fun to be had, lots of stuff to be discussed. Give it to them. Give it to them good. Oh, they've been waiting. I've been waiting. Been waiting for a grill like you. I've been waiting for a grill like you. Grill like you. Like you. Like you. Like you. A grill like you. That's right. I've been waiting for a grill like you. What's going on, man? Ladies and gents, I don't know what's going on. It's a lot of stuff that is going on, actually. Let's start with this one. A beautiful Russian, or we'll find out about this. I don't know the whole story, but it got my attention. A Russian man in Russia fell under a tram or a street train, or just a train. He fell under a train, ladies and gentlemen, rolled right underneath it, came out alive. And they said, is it a miracle? So that's when I had to ask myself, is it a miracle? Or is it a little bit of that Russian? Is it a little bit of that Eastern European? You know what I'm talking. Is it witchcraft? Is it a little bit of devil worship? Is it satanic rituals? What are we seeing right in front of us? He rolled right underneath the tram. And the tram continued to move on for a few inches. And then he rolled right out with the help of some individuals on the streets. Let's unpack this together. Let's unpack this. Why did he do this? I had to ask myself, why did this beautiful Russian have to do this? I'm not judging anybody, but I do gotta say, it is a little bit, it's low-key a little bit conceited. It's attention seeking is what it is. People will do anything for the clicks, for the views. I believe he wants to get all the puss in the Caucasus region. That's why he rolled under a tram, and that's, a tram is basically a trans train. That's, it's on its way, but not quite there. So yeah, I think he just wants the attention. I think that people fall under trains all the time. This is a little bit, I'm not a fan of this. It's been done before. You know what I mean? It's that new age era. We're in the new. Okay, if you're gonna fall under anything, fall under something they're creating flying cars right now. It's a whole new market. All right, whether it's in China, whether it's in beautiful United States of the Americas, maybe some companies in Europe, people are creating new ways of maneuver. So you falling under a tram, which is, borderline, hasn't quite made up its mind, not enough hormone blockers or too much tea, whatever, make up your mind, tram is what I said. So fall under a flying car. Maybe that'll get you some attention. This is not the proper way to go, disrupting everybody's daily routines. He didn't lose any limbs, none of that. So yeah, it's trickery. It's a little bit, look at me, I'm all fine. And then, oh, where'd I go? Now you see me, now you don't. A little bit of that magique, if you will. A little bit of sleight of hand, if you will. And I'm a fan of the magique, if you will. But again, for what purposes? If you want to get out there and, have a story to tell, oh, I survived falling under, and now you're clearing out the entire bar. You're leaving with 20 females, all right? Leaving none for the other males. That's a lot. And during these times specifically, whatever's going down in that region, it's a little bit, it's a team sport out there. Get some, but also leave some for the others. So for that, I'm gonna go ahead and say that I wasn't impressed. But also some people are saying it's a miracle. Whatever it may be, it's, falling under, bring it back old school. Don't go, trains are, I don't know how I feel about it. I wasn't even moving that fast. If you want to get attention, speed it up. Go under a quick moving train. Go to Japan or China and fall under a high speed supersonic train, all right? And then get out alive, and then we'll call that a miracle. This slow moving, Eastern Bloc, it's fall under a horse. If you want to take it back a little bit, get trampled and then come out and be like, you didn't crack any ribs because I ain't got any, and then continue to suck your own dick and be like, right there, magique. Fall under a tricycle. Try something that's not been done before, okay? Fall under a, go under a, how about it's, fall under an escalator, an escalator that's been stuck, and then it starts moving. Fall underneath that, and then have people panic. Oh my God, is he gonna get grinded up under in the gears, in the mechanisms of the? But then no, you'll pop up and be like, no, nothing crushed my bones because I don't have any bones. Magique, right there. So those are my thoughts on this beautiful rush, and keep working on it. It's nice, but keep working on it. That's what I say. It's neither here or there, ladies and gents. Oh, what else is going on? Lots of stuff is going on. One of the biggest heists just occurred in Paris, in France, in the Louvre, the museum that is the Louvre. A big heist took place over the past few days, which warms my heart. This is my three people, if I'm not mistaken, 3 or 4 people, if I'm not mistaken. I think 3 people got into the Louvre in broad daylight, robbed jewels, the royal jewels. Some of the jewels belong to Napoleon and his queens or princesses, princess, queens. Let's just call them queens. A lot of jewels got stolen in broad daylight. Typical perspective is don't rob, don't steal, but I do like heists, not gonna lie to you. Whose fault is that? Thank you for all the great movies that I've watched throughout my life involving heists and robberies and theft. So you're gonna inject my eyeballs with all these beautiful, how many movies have we watched about heists? How many people have we rooted for throughout our entire lives? And then now I'm supposed to see this in real life and be like, no, boo, no, I don't think so. I am rooting for the thieves in this particular, and nobody got hurt. Nobody got hurt. All right. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not even a big fan of museums. I don't care for museums, to be honest. It's my opinion. This is the show. If you want hard-hitting facts, sometimes we might do that. On accident, on purpose, by accident. But sometimes we just go by feeling wise. I don't care for museums. I don't care about the Louvre, to be honest with you. I don't got anything against the Louvre in particular. I just don't care about museums. I don't care about a whole bunch of artifacts that have been, museums are just glorified, hoarding. That's what that is. Fucking clean it up. Clean it up. Take a look at this. It's been here for thousands of years. Can I see an image of it on my phone? Okay then. All right, museums were for prior to phones with access to everything. I've been to Paris once, lovely city, beautiful city, could do a little bit less, could do a little bit more about the dog poop, I'll say that, but nonetheless, the baguettes and the wine was good. The wine was cheap, wine was good, but I saw a lineup. I saw a giant ass lineup for the Louvre, and I said, no, thank you. I'm not lining up for having to go look at things I could look at on my phone. But you get to see it up close, but you don't get to touch it. If you bring in touching and licking at the museums and all, you'll get your boy back in the museums. Have I been to a museum? Once or twice or thrice, maybe when I was younger with school, perhaps, maybe, yes. And maybe a couple of times in my young adult days. But those times, I will say this, never have I ever been to a museum There's no, if it didn't involve puss after museum, I would have never gone to the museum. That's just facts. If you want me to sit here or stand here rather than lie to you and tell you I'm a big fan of music, don't care about museums, to be honest. I'm not gonna line up to go look at old paintings that I can look at on my phone. I'm not gonna be, oh, look at this beautiful artifact from the 3,000 years ago. 2 seconds that you've forgotten about it. 2 seconds, that's how long it takes. That's all I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of museums. I'm not gonna, I mean, again, if there's puss involved, if I know that we're gonna, have a little drinky poo, hold hands, get clammy hands, go stroll for an hour or two. You gotta do something during the day. I get it. I've been there. I'll do it with you. But if there's puss promised afterwards, if there's no puss, we're not going to the museum. If there are no guys that are getting up, all right, by their own accord and willy-nilly walking into museums. I know there's some guys that might do it. I know it's okay. You're gay. It's fine. It's complete. And I'm again, no judgment, nothing. You're gay. You're gay. And that's completely, we love the gays. But I'm just saying, if there's no puss involved, there's no reason why a heterosexual, cock-throbbing man would walk into a museum. So these guys robbed jewels. And they didn't even use any guns. No one got hurt. This is a clean getaway. What were we gonna do with all those jewels? Just have them sit there and bring in people. Just come take a look at these jewels from a few hundred years. Come look at these jewels from 200 years. No one cares. No, I'll speak from, I don't care. It's worth millions, hundreds of millions. Good on you. Good on, in these times, again, I'm not a fan of thievery. Especially from like small businesses, this, that, and the yes. Do not, what are we talking about? The Louvre 1 second and social anarchy. I don't care about the museums, to be very honest, but that's just my personal opinion. I mean, sure. It's fine. Again, if there's puss involved, if you're getting cock after, I think that's just low-key. I think that's how females want to get cock, and they just, let's go walk in the museum for a few seconds. Just say what it is that you want, okay? You want the D, you can have the D. That's what you don't have to drag people to museums. And nobody remembers what they saw at the museum. You won't remember a goddamn thing that you looked at in the museum. You gotta be quiet. You gotta walk slowly. Make sure not to sneeze. Make sure not to talk loud. Make sure not to chew gum, and make sure not to get jizz. And God forbid you get any jizz on these precious pieces of history. So those are my thoughts, What are they gonna do with it? I have no idea. Was it an inside job? I don't know. I'll say this, it was either a professional, or let's just deduce and catch these fools together if we want to catch them. If not, let's just let them be. This is probably the most exciting news that I've heard about the Louvre in ages. So go get a ticket to the Louvre before somebody else does one of these heists. It looked like a professional job to me. Some might say that due to the fact that they didn't use any weapons, no one got hurt, and they did it in broad daylight. So some might say it was purely professional, in and out, quick in and out, in and out, stick and move right there. Some say it was sloppy, that it was amateurs because they left some equipment behind. We'll see about that. If we catch them, great, I guess, in the greater sense of, if you're into the game of catching things, if you're into collecting Pokemons, and if you like collectibles, if you like catching butterflies, if you like catching feelings, then you'll get happy when we catch these guys, if we happen to do it. If not, if you get away, if they do get away, and you like people that get away, if you like to take a getaway destination, then you'll be a happy little clam when these guys get away with it. Yes, will they melt it? Then they say that you can melt jewelry just like butter. Will they crack it? Because it's like jewels, it's, precious metals and stones. Will they crack it and sell? Who knows? Hundreds of millions of dollars that got me excited. This is, again, years and years of watching heist movies and always rooting for the thieves. Who'd you root for? I'm supposed to view this and be like, no, I'm so sad about Napoleon's... Don't care about Napoleon, to be very honest with you. If we're taking a quick second here, not condoning thievery, but this is a heist. This is different. This is diff. Okay, based on the amount of pop culture that's been embedded into our brain, I can't emotionally, I'm rooting for these guys. Get away. it to Africa somewhere and sell it. Crack it and sell it. We can always make fake replicas and say we got it back, and we'll have hordes of people lining up to watch the fake replicas. Ooh, look at this piece of jewelry that belonged to Napoleon's princesses and queen. In his time, you would have probably been peasants. He wouldn't have cared for your ass. Oh, it's Napoleon's. He wouldn't have cared for your ass. But that's Napoleon, right? Most of the time, he wouldn't have. He wouldn't have. You and I would not have been one of the people who would have cared. Not many people who have collectible items in museums would have given a rat's ass about your feelings, your well-being, your everyday life. They wouldn't have cared at all. So those are my thoughts on the matter. Oh, some strong feelings about museums. What else is going on in Virginia? 3 masked bandits, Halloween masked bandits, tried to do a little B&E. They rang a doorbell on a beautiful home and scared the bejeebies out of the household members, saying, "It's your worst nightmare, let us in." They kept saying that. I saw that and I'm like, oh, and this is happening in the US. You gotta get out. If somebody is dressed up in Halloween costumes and they're laughing and they're taunting you, open the door. This is, again, not professional takes. Don't listen to me, but listen to me and enjoy the show. Open the door, smack them right in the face. Smack them right in the face. And if you got a gun or two, and you're in beautiful Virginia, okay? Grab your gat and get out on the porch. If somebody keeps taunting you with masks on their face because it's Halloween time and they think it's appropriate for them, you grab your gat, right? You get out, you open the door, you smack them a few times in the face, all right? You pistol whip them on the side of the temple, and then you shoot a couple in their kneecaps, on their toes, and maybe in their genitalia. That's how you deal with that shit. People, because you don't know, man. You don't know if people have got elderly folks in their place, if they've got children. You're scaring them with the masks. There've got to be repercussions. And again, it's more difficult for people in Canada to have guns, but if you have the access to guns, you open the door and right there. Worst nightmare. That is some, it just got me. Bring him in, because people think it's bring him in. Always have rope handy. How do you deal with it? Bring him in, tie them up, chain them inside, bring him in. They don't know the ins and outs of your home. All right, take them to the basement, be like, this is where I keep all the loose cash. You want loose cash? Come in the bit. You want loose cash and loose vag while you're at it? You want to do a little bit of damage to the physicals of the people in this dwelling, and you want to get away with a little bit of loot? Come into the basement, all right? And then work them. A little bit to the body, all right? Just quick moves, a little bit to the body. Right there, dude. Tickle them a little bit. You know what I mean? Spit in their face. Bite them. Start with little tiny nibbles. Little tiny sensual nibbles. Get them to feel at ease. Cool, calm, and collected. Then move into aggressive biting. Then bite their nose. Bite their genitals. Bite their eyelids. And then smack them some more. And then maybe shoot them in the ass a couple of times as well. So going up to people's households, ringing doorbells, telling them it's their worst nightmare. What kind of, it just got me titillated in a good way, because I'm like, we don't have easier access to guns like you do down in the beautiful United States of America, but you open that front door, all right, you cock that gun, and you're right there, 5 at a time, and each motherfuckers, be testing you out there like that. So that's how I do. Or join them. Maybe they got a good thing. I actually don't know. Maybe they're just down on their, join them. Maybe if it's a good thing, if you got a costume at your place and you were wondering of doing heists and local B&Es, then join them. Because there's only 3 people. They could always use more. Make up your mind. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but do something. At the end of the day, do something. Invite them in. Maybe you've got more to give than they'd like to take anyway. Give them something. Give them a lot of stuff. Make sure their getaway is slow and taxing on their body. They thought they're gonna come in and get away with a couple of light stuff. Give them really heavy duty jewelry, put your couch on there, but be like, here, take this $10,000 couch, put it on one of their backs and let them drag it out, all right? Maybe you happen to be moving. Trick them to have your stuff moved to your new place. Be like, take this shit, and then give them an address. That's how you deal with this shit. Or, you know, if this happened in Canada, we're obliged to open the door and say, come on in. We bend over and we spread eagle essentially, and we offer a little bit of deli, a little bit of a, you know, PB&J sandwich for the getaway ride back home, and we give them everything. We give them our belongings. But that's different. That's in the US. So you do what? Do what feels right inside. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but that's just a little bit of news from Virginia, beautiful Virginia. Never been. I'd like to go. Why is it named Virginia? But is it because the entire nation is, or the entire, does it have a lot of virgins? Is that where they got the name Virginia from? Do they value virginity? What's the deal with that name? It's a beautiful name, but, you know, root word I believe is virgin. You're not allowed to have sex at Virginia. That's just my takeaway from it. If you're visiting Virginia, you are no longer allowed to have sex. If you have been living in Virginia, you should never have sex. How does the state that doesn't believe in sex populate its state? They don't. They don't. The whole thing's an illusion, but that's Virginia for you. What else is going on? China. Beautiful China. A flight got diverted, ladies and gentlemen, in China because of lithium batteries that caught on fire. And I've had enough of lithium batteries catching fire and diverting airplanes, ruining lives essentially. All right, introducing non-lithium batteries. I'd like to take this time and say that I've been working with a lot of people behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, in the middle of the scenes, people who didn't even know we were working together, but now we are. We are making non-lithium batteries. Don't be an idiot using lithium batteries and having things catch on fire. Entire families have had their lives ruined because they've relied on lithium batteries. Babies have turned out to be criminals because of lithium batteries. I'm taking this time to say to you and your loved ones, say no to lithium batteries. From now on, move on to non-lithium batteries, brought to you by Gladyamadeit and Social Production. All right, it's the time. It's the time that we move away from lithium batteries. How many women have exploded, just spontaneously exploded because of, oh, let me just put a lithium battery in my vibrator. Next thing you know, placenta all over the place. Next thing you know, loose tits just sliding down the fridge. Oh, what is that? Is that a little fridge magnet? That's what the cops would say when they're doing the whole forensics CSI. No, I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, madam. It's actually a loose nip from the deceased. It's not a fridge magnet. Well, what are these intestines? I wonder if it's just confetti for the holiday season. I wonder if they're just getting ready for it is loose intestines because of lithium batteries. All right, how many men have prolapsed on the spot because of lithium batteries? The numbers will shock you. 78 million just this past month. 78 million men prolapsed because of lithium battery. Move on to non-lithium batteries, please. All right, how many fridges have exploded and hit animals in the zoo because that's how big the explosion was because of the lithium batteries and inside the fridges. All right, how many sex dolls have just malfunctioned and locked up on users' genitals and ripped it off because of lithium batteries? The numbers will shock you. 231 million just this past hour. Okay, so make a decision. All right, consumers have a lot of power with where they spend their money. That's how you say yes to things. That's how you vote for things, by saying yes to certain things and no to certain things. Go with non-lithium batteries, ladies and gentlemen. Unless you want to see just total chaos and madness, unless you're some sort of sick pervert who wants to see just total chaos and madness, then in which case I'd say go for the lithium battery. All right? Put it in your suitcase. Shove it up your ass. Put it in your nostrils. You got a neighbor? Get him to come over. Shove it up their vagina, put it in their dick hole, because you're that kind of fella. You want to be living in the past. Well, we got a good thing going on. Non-lithium batteries, brought to you by, again, Gladyamadeit and Social Productions, along with many people who like to stay as angel investors in the background. What have we been talking about? Prince Andrew has been recently in the news again. That's King Charles' brother, if I'm not mistaken. He's a poon hound. They call him. He had a nickname. Dirty Drew, Dirty Andrew, Sleazy Andrew. I don't know. I forget the nickname, to be honest with you. Nonetheless, he had close connections with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell as a whole. It's been in the news for some time. Slept with a 17-year-old allegedly. She committed suicide, and allegedly in the UK, apparently it's okay to sleep with 17-year-olds. That's, again, different countries have different age limits and rules and laws, but nonetheless, there's a whole book that's been released by the lady, I forget her name, Victoria Goffrey? Am I getting that name right? Doesn't matter. The point is that she came out with a book after her death. And again, he's nervous about that shit. And the royal family is a little bit just like on edge about this as well. Because again, it doesn't look good. I don't know how bad it looks, but it doesn't look good either. It doesn't look good for the bigger royal family picture as well. Because we're trying to go into a new era. All right, as the royal family tries to go into a new era, just got a new king. We might be getting even a newer king. And this does not bode well for the family. How to deal with this? You know, they stripped him of his titles, which is, if you go out there and you molest youngins, and again, I'm not saying he's 17, again, different countries, different rules and regulations, but they're stripping him of his titles. Like, he can't be a duke no more. He still has to be a prince, apparently. You can't take that away. That's God-given. That's birthright shit. Can't take that away. But it doesn't look good for the family. So what do you do? Do you throw him under the train or the tram as the Russians would? Or how do you deal with this? Do you strip him from his titles? Do you take his homes away, his mansions away, his money? You know? Still, what's going on with Ghislaine Maxwell still? No, nothing? Nothing substantive, huh? Just... we'll figure it out together, but or do you bring him in? He's the fun uncle now. He knows how to party. At the end of the day, family has got to stick together. I say, remove a couple of his titles. If you want to throw parties, which you will want to throw parties, all right? He'll know how to party. He knows how to party. He's party. Just give him a few notes on the parties, all right? No underage folk. How about that? Just nobody ending in a teen. If you want to, do sexcapades at the, it's the new, doing a whole shindig for the new king down the line, and the, new young king. Harry is the younger one. The other one is Charles is the king. Harry and King William. He'll be, and he's young. So he'll want to throw a party eventually. And again, do you separate yourself to be like, oh, we don't associate with borderline pedophiles, or we don't associate with borderline, or do you bring him in? He made a mistake. 17 wasn't even that bad, you might say that. Bring him in. I don't know. Bring him in, have him throw parties, don't let him babysit your kids, I'll say that. Don't let him play with the, young family members. I'll probably not, not the best call to have him be around youth, I'll say that, but he's probably a good time. Give him a little bit, a few drinks, maybe a few lines of this, that, and the other. He knows how to party. He's a good time. Hashtag free Andrew. I'm perplexed at this moment. Let him throw a party. Let him walk in with a robe and just fucking, somebody's got to do it. It's not an easy, because it's easy to, point fingers and whatnot. Somebody's got to live that life. So the bachelor life, he's no longer a bachelor, but that lifestyle, somebody's got to keep that torch going. Everybody else wants to get up in their, attire and look formal and correct and be all upright and erect, but somebody has got to keep the party going. You got to have a little bit of fun. So, payments were made to people to keep them quiet. Settlements were done outside of court. Doesn't matter. The point is that we're moving on. Deal with it. Either strip him of everything, put him behind bars, or bring him in. Let's have a party. Let's just say bygones are bygones and put it under the bridge, as we put everything that we don't like under bridges. That's why bridges were made, to put things that you don't like under them. It's just water under the bridge. That's what we do to water, because we don't like water that much. What else is going on? The burqas and the niqabs. The niqabs and the burqas have been banned in Portugal, along with a few other countries. Portugal just took initiative and did this. Some European countries have done this. I happen to agree with it. If you don't know what they are, they're attire to cover the females from head to toe, or the burqa is the head to toe, full blown. You know, it's like the opposite of a. You know, it's kind of like. It's like a black KKK outfit, but just like, you know, and then you got the it's pretty much that without the hood on top. So that's the burqa. If I'm not, the niqab is the face mask, and Portugal, along with a few other European nations, have together banned these. I agree with it. With the exception of what, you know, if you are hideous, if you are ugly, you should probably put on the niqab or the some version of the burqa. I say we keep it for the uggos out there. I say we keep it for the uggos until they decide to get plastic surgery and make themselves presentable for society's sake, or stay indoors for that matter. Stay indoors until you are somewhat easy on the eyes. If you are an eyesore, if you make people just gasp, if you make children cry by just looking at you, if you make children cry because of the way your face looks, put on the niqab, put on the burqa. In other instances, everybody, I do agree with it. Ban it all. But in just one, again, if anybody out there is an uggo, I don't know what the number is. We want to number it out, let's number it out. If you're walking it around, you know, if you're in the negatives, let's do that, you know, because again, one is a whatever, it's even a zero, but if you are, I'm talking about hideous. Some people need something to, you know, assist them and assist others. Society is a fine-tuned machine. We all rely on each other. If you are in the negatives, you know, because it goes from like 0 to 10, you know, oh, she's a this or he's a that. But if you are in the negatives, I say, we start somewhere. If you're not happy with that number, suggest a number. But a number is a number is a number, and numbers don't lie. If you're an outright uggo, okay, if you make people throw up, vomit by just looking at you, then I say put on the niqab or the burqa, all right? That in those instances, I agree with it. But for any other reason, no, I don't agree with it. Again, unless you're disgusting, unless you make the elderly just shiver in fear by the sheer sight of you. They don't want to leave their hospice because they are terrified by your sight. Okay? Local folklore is starting to gather around your name just because of the way you look. Then put on the niqab and the burqa in those instances. Any other instance, I say we get rid of it. I'm in agreement with this notion. All in favor say aye. All who oppose say nay. Good then. We're all on the same page. Excellent. Why do we say aye? Why not? Who came up with that? Aye. Why don't we just say yes? All in favor say yes. Aye. Did we not have I before? Where'd that come from? Did we not have yes before I? A little bit confused, to be honest with you, but that's nothing new here. A lot of confusion in my life, but that's, again, nothing new. Welcome to the show. Hello. What else is going on? I was just reading like I mentioned a few episodes ago, I started to read the Bible. It's just nice, it's a good read. On page 122, again, a lot to go. 6,000 pages, 122, I'm there. Learning a little bit, you know, learning about contracts, about few main characters, Abraham, or should I call you Abram? Original name, Abram. He had a contract with God. Apparently at one point they had a little chat, a little chit chat. God told him, listen, Abram, change your name to Abraham. So that's one thing. And also have a child with your old wife, with your Sarai, that was her name, and have her name changed to Sarah as well. That was God didn't like their names, said change your names. Kind of like old Hollywood back then. You're like, gotta make it a little bit presentable to the masses. But the point is, they had a little chit chat. Yeah, change your name, get your 100 or 90-year-old wife pregnant. She heard that, by the way. Sarah or Sarai heard that. She laughed. She was like, are you gonna get an old woman to get pregnant? She laughed and she chuckled, and then God heard it because that's omnipresent. He hears everything. He sees and hears everything. He said, "What, you doubting that you can get pregnant? Bitch, I'll make you pregnant. Just go lay with your man. I will make you pregnant." And she did get pregnant at an old age. Back in the day, and this was just pure faith and will. So, and that's, with today's technology, we can almost do that. So to the women who have postponed their birthing, the journey, never lose hope. She did it without the tech. She was like 100 years old or like 90 years old, really old. She got pregnant. So you've got technology on your side, okay? Do not be worried about how shriveled up your insides are. You're like, what about the autism? Everybody will be on the spectrum in the future. So do not worry about it. It'll be a good thing. But yeah, he had a contract. Abraham had a contract with God. God said to him, he's like, here, I need you to do a few things. Change your name, get your wife pregnant. Also do a circumcision. And once you do that, it'll remind me that you and I have a contract together. And when you do this, you go out there and have many children, and your children will have children. And basically your offspring will become kings and, kings of different nations and whatnot. And they'll be prosperous. They'll be wealthy and rich and affluent. And I'm going to need you to do circumcision on yourself and every man in your collective. Whoever's with, your sons, you got them, circumcise them. And he did that too. He did that. It was a late stage circumcision for Abraham. He did it old too. He did it when he was like 90 or 100. That sucks. Old cock circumcision. And then it got me to, I started thinking to myself, I'm like, is that the best way to were there no other forms of contracts available? Because God said that, he's like, do the circumcision so that I remember what I've said to you, that I remember that I told your offspring they're going to be, wealthy and prosperous and in charge of different nations and whatnot. It's going to be a good thing, but I'm going to need a reminder every now and again. I might forget things. As omnipresent as I am, he said that to himself. Or he might have thought it at least. Like, I'm going to need a reminder. And so circumcision, let that be a sign of our contract. And that's, again, could have been anything else. Could have been a verbal agreement, could have been a handshake, could have been maybe, get some paper, get a little pen and paper, jot it down on a, need a reminder? Here's the paper, look at this. Instead, they opted for, because papers you lose, I get it. Papers you can lose. There were no computers back then, no hard drives, no memory sticks, nothing of that sort. So I guess that's original contracts. Circumcisions were original contracts. And he did it to his son, 13-year-old son too, Ishmael. 13-year-old, got to get in here. All the other men too, we got to do it together. We got to do it right now. There's a good thing happening. Just trust me. Cut the foreskin. We're all going to be rich. It's going to be good. God said it himself. How will we remember what we've been promised? Well, because of the foreskin. You'll pull your pants down and God will remember, and you'll be on your way. A lot of other people got circumcised as a result of that. I'm not quite sure if we had circumcision prior to this, but that's, biblical times, biblical text. That's how it came through. And I'm still, I'm circumcised, not, have my thought about it. I like a little bit of land. I like a little bit of ownership. I like a little bit of, because as a result, you're supposed to show the foreskin and be like, hey, apparently this is due to, long historical lineage that we've all benefited from in different ways. But the point is that, that's says something about contracts. You know, maybe we should move to that, by the way, you know, contracts, because a lot of times you're like, oh, have you read the fine print on this contract? Nobody does. Nobody does. We should go back to foreskin contracts and agreements. I believe that, you know, you buy a car, must you sign all the paperwork? Can't we just take a little from the top, a little bit, you know, trim it from the sides a little bit? Just every time, you know, you put a down payment on a house, just trim a little bit of the old, what about females, you ask? Well, that's why we have female genital mutilation. We can use those as contracts too, you know, because if you want to get in there and you're a female, you want to buy a house, forget about who keeps the contracts anyway? You remember where you kept that contract of your mortgage and your bank and all that stuff? Just shave a little bit off the old vulva. That's how you remember. Go to the bank. I'm here to retrieve my money. We don't know who you are. Well, take a look at this, and then pull your pants down. Be like, oh, Miss Johnson, so glad we could have your business today. Thank you for joining us once again. But yeah, that was contract. So I'm learning. It's discovery. It's beautiful. No, I love it. You know, we learn and we go along, and yeah, I'm moving forward. I'm gonna, you know, when I do business from now on, I do require people to do, you know, on-site circumcision, because nothing, you know, they say a man is as good as his word, but I think, or man is, of course, representative of all people out there. I say we put the foreskin game back on, you know what I mean? I don't think you're supposed to take the whole thing off, because you're gonna have many contracts in life. Take a little bit off every time you make a little contract or an agreement with anybody, you know, just a millimeter, just shave a little bit of it off. You gotta leave room. If only anybody could walk in and bring in some foreskin game, you know, grow your foreskin, get more contracts. Running out of foreskin for contracts and agreements between yourself and other business people, get extra foreskin. Don't be a chump. Want to do business but can't because of lacking foreskin. But that's neither here or there, and I'm happy to be here with you today. So thank you for joining me once again. What else is going on in and around the world? I believe the FBI, beautiful FBI, just busted a gambling ring in Idaho, an illegal gambling ring in Idaho. That's right. This illegal gambling ring was busted by the good men and women in the FBI. Why? I'm assuming because they don't like the shape of this gambling enterprise. It is a ring. This time it was a ring. And I get it, with rings, anything circular, it's kind of hard to tell where it starts, where it ends. Moving forward, I think they are declaring that if you are to operate any gambling businesses, stay away from rings. Do your gambling operation in a square, in a rectangle, in a triangle, in an octagon, in a field, on a court. You know, anything but a ring. Anything but a ring. They don't like that. The officials don't like it. I don't know what it is about I think when the FBI was young, probably got, you know, had a little run-in with this shape, with this, I don't know if a gang of rings attacked the FBI. I don't know if that happened. So that's it. Since then, they've just had it out for gambling rings. But again, anything else is fair game. If you want to put it in put a gambling cube, make a gambling cube, make it into any shape really. As long as it's not a gambling ring, I think you're good to go. Because rings are, circles are, that's, if you start pacing in a circle, and it's, again, because it keeps going and never ends, and it's a terrifying shape. The circle the hole is terrifying. It's both beautiful but also terrifying. Think about that, you know. White holes, where do you go when you die? White holes, you see the white light? It's a hole. It's a hole until it's, or, you know, oh, what is that? It's a black hole. Two circles of different colors, both beautiful and terrifying. your dig hole. It's also a tiny hole, all right? And again, beautiful, but also terrifying. You know, could be a lot of fun, but also could be life-altering if you are just willy-nilly dropping seed all over the place, willy-nilly, all right? The vag, also technically a hole. You know, not a traditional sense of a perfect circle, but a hole nonetheless. Beautiful, beautiful, but also could be terrifying if it attacks. Assholes. Everybody's got them, everybody loves them. Also, beautiful for when you want to take a shit, when you want to do anal. Great. Terrifying when you got the runs or when it attacks. So I suppose circles and rings are out. Again, any other shape of gambling is a go. Please proceed accordingly. Amazon Web Services was just downs. It got the downs, and a lot of internet services were downs over the past few days. AT&T, Delta, United, crypto, banking, this, that, the other, everything went down. Services down. People didn't have access to the interwebs, some services, games, apps. And what happened? Humanity halted. Everything came to a screeching halt. Lives were ruined. Marriages broken apart. Institutions that have been here for thousands of years fell and just crashed. Children ran around on the streets like loose feral animals. Straight into trees. They were running straight into trees. 275 million kids were lost over the past few days because they freaked out over the fact that they didn't have access to their favorite games. They lost their minds. Men who are addicted to online gambling. Also, they offed themselves. 333 people have been reported to have gone off a cliff. They just freaked out because of the services that were down. They weren't able to get access to their banking and crypto bros. There's a lot of we lost a lot of crypto bros over the past few days due to this internet downage. Buildings got overtaken by nature. Just massive amounts of trees and grasslands grew over enormous cities, and it's unrecognizable what has happened out there. I suggest if you're watching this video, it's probably not safe for you to leave anywhere. Stay indoors until these services come back on. I believe most of them are back on, but I would suggest you stay indoors anyway. Do not risk it. Everybody's telling you it's normal out there. They just want you to get out there and, get run over by a whole bunch of panicking individuals out on the streets. It is pandemonium out there. Stay safe. People were not prepared. And that's what happens when you're not prepared, Just, wasting your candles on your sensual, sexual activities. You're like, oh, melt this candle on your ass. Look at this candle melt on your tits. Let's just burn it all. Let's just have a little. And then when you need that when the internets go down and you've played with all your candle supplies and you've got nothing, and that sucks. That sucks. But again, gives us a little bit of a taste for what could come if we were to have a giant power outage of some sort, whether naturally or man-made or woman-made, human-made, or naturally. Yeah, you're all fine today playing with your Snapchat and your Roblox and your crypto, but again, at any second, it is extremely vulnerable. You never know. Never know what could happen. It's good to be prepared. It's good to be prepared and do your stretches. Of course, make sure you touch your toes, bend your knees, lift with your back. Always lift with your back. Be prepared to lift heavy objects using only your back. If you hear cracking, continue with the motion until there's no spinal cord left in your spine. There you go. What else is going on? in and around the world. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the authorities found a hunting stand near Air Force One, which was, they caught it in time, nothing happened, but it's one of those things it's been done, it's been attempted, it's not, hunting stands near Air Force One, if you are, it's overplayed, it's done, it's, enough, nobody wants to see it anymore, it's, assassination attempts, it's over, it's done, all right? It's 2025, we're going into 2026 soon, so please, if you want a hunting stand, I do like a hunting stand for hunting purposes. I've never been into that circumstance, but I do like the idea of just crouching on top of a, tree branch just late in the evening. I don't know what time people go hunting. Most people probably go in the daylight, but that's when amateurs go. You should go in the dark. That's with less light, then it's just you against the animals. That's how you catch them off, because they don't expect this shit to happen in the evening. But that's when you make your move. You want to be an amateur, go in the daylight, be like everybody else, and start, sometimes you gotta swim against the current. That's what I've learned. Of course I could have probably, sometimes it's good to go with the current, sometimes it's just good to be out of the water. I'll say that. And that's just recreational swimming patterns. Outside of that, stay dry, stay nimble. Once again, do your stretches, please. But yeah, it's good to get on a little, just climb a tree and, watch a family of bears, or climb a tree and just look out for, whitetails, yellowtails, blacktails, brown tails. We cover all the tails. We don't discriminate here. It's good to climb a tree and, just kind of keep count on the local squirrels who are low-key taking over the neighborhood. Count the number of baby rabbits. Have your eye out on the raccoon family as well, because they are cute, but in times of dire need, they could also be a food source. So, these are all fun activities. Yeah, that's when it's probably appropriate to have a hunting stand. But other than that, or if you want to just take your family out there and not even hunt anything, but also get that experience that's available, you can find a proper tree, build a hunting stand on top of it, climb it with your children, give them ammunition, have them sniff the ammunition, have them play with a gun, stroking a gun, lube up a gun, and have your son or your daughter stroke that gun, sniff the bullets, lick the bullets, gunpowder. It's extremely important that you take gunpowder with you. A lot of people do go hunting and find themselves up on a hunting stand without any gunpowder, which could be extremely humiliating. I've seen a lot of men be undermined, belittled, emasculated in front of their female counterparts because of lack of gunpowder, and that's often something that men cannot recover from. So please take ample amounts of gunpowder with you. If you don't have any, I believe the Chinese have got it. I believe the Chinese have got the gunpowder. I think they came up with it, if I'm not mistaken. So seek out a Chinese person if you don't have enough gunpowder with you. If you don't have guns, if you don't, I would resort to a bow and arrow. If you don't have a bow and arrow, I would say get a couple of rocks, just a couple of pebbles, and chuck it at things. Not animals, you don't want to hurt animals, but get target practice. Get target practice, go in the evening, get night vision, paint your face, do camo, blend into nature. Do not come back into civilization until, of course, you have killed a large animal and have skinned it and are wearing it. I don't want to see your face unless you are head to toe covered in a bear outfit from a real bear. Eat the bear, gut the bear, eat the bear, wear the skin, then come back to civilization. Until then, retrieve, stay intact, stay on top of your hunting stand. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see your face until you skin a bear. Attack the cubs. That's always the best way. If you want, because you want to get the female mother, you want to get the mama bear, you got to attack the cubs. Attack the cubs. Skin the mama bear. How come we never hear anything about the papa bear, by the way? Because you always hear about the wrath of the mama bear. What about the Father's gone missing, eh? Typical bear behavior. Single parent households, bears. Is it innate? Is it socioeconomical? Is it cultural? Who knows? Who knows? There's a new trend, of course, that's taking both the internet and the streets by a storm, and that is couples taking a shit in the shower together. Why is it happening? I can only use my sense of deduction and my deducing technique to say that couples are now shitting in showers together because they think that it'll bring them closer together. A lot of these couples say that a pipe is a pipe is a pipe is a pipe, and it's all down the drain anyway. Why waste time sitting on the toilet when we can both shit and shower together? You've always heard shit, shave, shower, but why not combine two of those three categories together and get yourself a little bit more time? Everybody says time is valuable, time is gold, time is money, make gold, make time. Take a shit in the shower, that's what they say. I suppose that it's a little bit of like, let's just be modern, and they are right, a pipe is a pipe is a pipe is a pipe, and the drain does go all into, the same sewer system. So in a sense, they do have a point. I think it started out in France. I'm not quite sure where this movement started, but it is a movement nonetheless. People ask, where do these things even come from? How did they emerge? Who created them? Was it just a rumor on the internet, or did it actually start on the streets? A lot of people like to point fingers. I say, take that finger and shove it wherever you like to shove it in places where they told you not to shove it, and also shove it in places that you like to shove it initially. That's where you started, that's where you should probably go back to. I suggest, if you are wondering, if you're judging these couples as to why they're shitting and showering at the same time, I would like to say, why haven't you tried it? Are you feeling left out? Is this something that you're low-key, are you shit shower curious? Is that the type of fella or lady that you are? Take the initiative, jump in, get wet, take a shit with your lover. I'm not quite sure if they stomp on it to get it to go down the drain. You could stomp on it, you could just let it accumulate into one large pile of shit. Eventually you could take a bath in it as well, because a lot of people do, you've seen the mud baths. It's the same kind. If you've seen celebrities take mud baths, guess where they get the mud from? Oftentimes they do have the programs where they squeeze the celebrities until they get all their fecal matter into the tub. They don't ever show you that part, of course, whereas you're two people. You have ample amounts of doo-doo and fecal matter inside you. So I would say concentrate and get the fecal matter out into the tub. Stomp on it like you were stomping grapes for wine, but you're not going to be able to drink this unless you want to drink it. If you want to drink the fecal matter, I don't recommend it. I don't hold it against you either. So go ahead and grab a straw, just 2 straws, 1 tub, slurp. It's, again, some people say that it's started somewhere overseas. It's making its way over here. Not quite sure how to feel about it. No judgment here. If you're doing it, if it's making your skin glow, please continue to do it. Share the secret next time you're throwing down the old Thanksgiving dinner party and everybody compliments you as to how glowing your skin is. Please do tell them, because it's not fun and fair to have all the secrets to yourself and be looking like you're fucking, a newborn baby while you're actually in your, you're like 50 or like 60, 70 years old, or you're in your 30s or even your 20s, but you look like a newborn, and everybody's asking, is it the lotion? Is it because he scrubs every day? No, it's the shit in the shower. That's what it is. And it's not even about the fecal matter that's on your body. It's more so about the experience. So there you have it. I'm not quite sure why people do it, but people do it. Apparently they do. So there you have it. A lot of people have had enough of blind people, and to them I say, I get it. These folks are lacking sight, but they're out there in the wild like the rest of us, trying to be normal, when we know deep down inside, and oftentimes even on a surface level, we see them, we know they shouldn't be out there. So why do we have them out there? I don't know, but I've come up with a solution. Treadmills to alleviate the whole blindness problem. We put them on treadmills, ladies and gentlemen, and it's all about the sensory. They are walking outside, but they don't really know they're outside. do they need to be outside? And how many blind people have we lost, despite the fact that we could even ask ourselves, were they even ever found? Because once again, they're going places without a inclination to where they're actually going. So put them on a treadmill is what I say. You know, make them feel like they're outside, but we don't have to interact with them. It's probably safer for them as well. How many times have you seen a blind person trip and fall? A lot of people would say actually it's actually quite rare, and it is rare, but nonetheless, do you want to be that one guy or gal who sees a blind person trip and fall in the wild? Are you okay? Is everything all right? Because normal good people wouldn't want that. You don't want to hurt blind people, do you? You sick son of a bitch. That's why I introduced to everyone this whole new concept of putting blind people on treadmills. And we could use they've got audio sensory, we could, put on some nature sounds in the background so they think they're out in nature. Oh, caw, what is that? It's a hawk. It's a hawk, blind person, blind folk. BF. Oh, I wonder what it looks like. You'll never know. You're blind. You'll never know. You're like, how will they interact with other people? Do they need to interact with other people? Where are they going? What do they need to interact about anyway? So that's my 2 cents on it. I think that pretty much solves one of the issues I'm tackling. Again, it's easy to be like, oh, somebody else will take care of this problem. It's you and me out there, man. Quit waiting around and fix it is what I say. Some people are curious as to how they could remedy the problem of their guests urinating while they're in their house or in their office. And it is a curious question because a lot of times interactions, conversations lose their flow because someone has got to go and urinate. It is a bummer. It has taken a toll on humanity it's just running rampant everywhere. How many times have you seen this? People talking and I'm like, excuse me, do you mind if I go and take a leak? And then you come back and you're like, what was even going on? And you're like, forget about it. Don't even mention. There's a new remedy to this. You can actually completely forego the whole trip to the bathroom by simply drinking your guest's urine. That's right, drink your guest's piss today and keep the conversation going. We don't need to get separated more than we already are. We need to come closer and see how much we've got in common. Sit down, have a long ass conversation and drink all the liquids you want to drink until your bladder is full. Keep drinking even after that. And then when you're ready to go, simply unzip your pants and stick your crotch in somebody's face who's sitting down and having a conversation with you, whether it's, again, could work with family, could work with friends, colleagues, co-workers, people in different departments, because a lot of times it's about momentum. It's about consistency. Once you get up and leave an excuse, it's a whole nother ballgame at that point. So please, I've come up with this solution. I'm not going to take this time to make this about myself or say I'm going to take full credit for this. I think it's something that's been available to humanity for a long time. It's right in front of our eyes. Moving forward, once again, that is, if you want to keep the conversation going, if you want to keep everybody happy, drink your guests' piss. Do not be shy about it. They want you to do it and they'll do it for you as well. It's something that could be easily reciprocated, which is one of the foundational stones or pillars of relationships and community. Drinking piss, your guests' piss, instead of bathroom breaks. And again, it's a bonding experience. So please take advantage of it today. You're welcome. Don't mention it. It's not going to take, we did this together. We completely did this together. You're welcome. No need to thank me. It's fine. It's completely okay. What else is going on? I have come up with another beautiful idea, of course. I should say this after contemplating. I'm like, could we make the vagina or the puss a little bit better, despite the fact that it is the best thing out there. It is one of the best things out there. But I do have a little proposition for you folks out there. If you're like, how do I take the puss to the next level? I searched far and wide, deep and shallow, long and hard, short and soft, which is often left out in terms of when people say they looked into something or they've really contemplated something. They say long and hard, but they never mention short and soft. Short and flaccid, that's, or somewhere in the middle. That's where I took it. And I said, you know what, we could make the puss a little bit better. Introducing pop-up puss. I took the concept from pop-up books, which is basically taking the books, flipping the pages, and then getting 3D images or prints to pop up out of the books to give you a little bit of that oomph, a little bit of that zhuzh, a little bit of that extra je ne sais quoi, a little bit of that, oh, what is this? Little birthday surprise. It's a birthday surprise in form of a pop-up. That's what that is, which is why I like to say we open up the badge and we put stuff in it that pops up. It could be anything, really. It could be a little, you open up the badge, we could put a whole, because it's got room in there. It's got plenty of room. A little bit of, just put a tent in there, have a little tent, just a pop-up tent. And underneath that tent, it could be, you could put items inside the tent. You could put a little bit of a lamp in there. You could put a little chair. You could put a little stool. You could put a little, not a giant couch, but like a love seat. You could put a love seat, a pop-up badge with a love seat. You could put up, camping equipment inside of it, so that, ever wonder, you're like, oh, this parking lot, I wish we could just sit down and enjoy a couple of brewskis in this parking lot. Well, that's where the badge comes in. You open up the badge, it's an open concept. We have left that empty space as is for as long as I can remember. And it's like, why waste good space? Make use of it. Open it up. Put a little barbecue inside, a little pop-up barbecue inside a badge. Never really hurt anyone. Everybody likes a good burger. Everybody likes a hot dog. There's plenty of room in there, Just open up your legs, open up your vag. The puss, what's in there? It's a trampoline. Oh, wow. It's a trampoline. Have not been in one of these since we were like teenagers. You could say that. And there it is. It's right there. It's available for everybody. Open it up and have, just gym equipment fall out, balls, batons, ropes, dumbbells, pulleys, a bench, barbells, you could do a lot with it. It's just taking the puss, as great as it is, making it a little bit better, What is this? It's a sewing machine. We're gonna do a little bit of, arts and crafts time, baby. Nobody thought about this shit, did you? You can do it. It fits right in there. Oh, anybody want a cocktail? What is this? It's cocktail hour. Thank you very much. Open up your leg. What's inside your vag? Open up. It's a whole bar inside your vag. That's right. A lot of people are like, oh, we need more room. You've got plenty of room, please. You got plenty of room. So that's where I came up with the pop-up pussy idea. You're welcome once again. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to take this time and say that Kim Kardashian of the Kardashian clan, has released a new line of underwear under the Skims outfit, couture, fashion line, whatever the Skims are. She's introduced a whole new line of panties for the women's that come with faux pubic hair. So it's basically a merkin. She's reintroducing it to the market. The market is loving it. I have my own thoughts on this. I'm completely happy for Kim Kardashian and her beautiful family, of course. This is I've talked about this before. I've shared a few ideas with you. I'd like to say that I'd like to see everybody doing well. I'm happy that individuals are buying the Merkin, but I do want to take this time to once again, this is our show. This is what we do together. You know, other people have my different opinions. If it happens to be that way, so be it. Faux bush versus the real bush. I like to say, as fun as the Merkin is, it's not quite as fun as the real deal, which is why I'm encouraging every female out there to grow a nice, healthy bush. The bush is in high demand. Real men, good men, hardworking men want the bush. There are a lot of naysayers who say they don't want it. I've heard some of these naysayers. Once again, these are the same people who would probably say, I'll go to the museum and you're gay. You're like, shave it all off. They'll say you're gay. You want a pre-adolescent look on your female. That's what you want. You don't want the nice, glorious female bush of the 80s to have a little bit of that. A beautiful 80s bush. Please, there's no contest. What are we even talking about? We went through phases. We went through different phases of hygiene, you know, body hair etiquette and all that. Bring it back. Nice, clean, sexy bush. Everybody likes it. The Merkin, that's child's play. That is, you know, we're talking about grown people here, talking individuals with autonomy over here. Let that bush grow. Let it grow. It's something to hold on to as you're pounding the puss. As you pound it, it's something to hold on to as you pound. And before you even start pounding the puss, what's even underneath the bush? You know, because without the bush, you'll see what you're dealing with, which is nice, which is lovely. No complaints whatsoever. But it's cool to have a little bit of like, what are we even getting ourselves into? What does it look like? I can't wait till I peek underneath this bush. But once the bush is gone, then it's just right there, which is beautiful nonetheless. We'll take them as they come, but I'm just saying, there's not enough bush. I would like to see more bush. I'm just gonna say one more time, so sticks at 3 times, thrice the bush, okay? Let it run wild. Real men love it. It gets a little, you know, get a little bit of the old pheromones in there. Quit complaining, quit being little bitches, all right? Quit being little bitches out there. I don't like the bush. I don't know how it looks like. Bush it up, all right? Plenty of vages that are shaved, waxed, plucked, pumped. I'm all for all of it. I'm saying just a little bit of variation with more bush for your boy's sake and other men out there who are a fan of the bush as well. Bring it back. The Merkin, it's like, you know, we like to dabble, but we're not. And you can always shave it off. It'll grow back. You can always shave, but bring it back. Bring it as a constant. Bring it back, please. And nice, beautiful, any color. Blonde, black, red. A little bit of, you know, salt and pepper in there. A little bit of whatever. Brown. Did I say brown already? We might have. It doesn't matter. Color it if you like. Color it. Dye it. Grow it. You know? How many times have you had somebody, you know, fall off a cliff and you're like, hang on, hold on to my, and then both your hands are full. Both your hands are full and you're like, how could I save this person falling off a cliff? Had you not shaved your bush, you could have stuck your bush out and it is sturdy. You could have had somebody grab onto the bush and climb their way back up. But guess what? They are down there on the bottom, flattened out, and they're dead because you shaved your bush. Female sports, women get hit in the vag a lot of times during female sports, and oftentimes it's career-ending blows to the vag because they've shaved the bush. Leave the bush, take all the hits to the vag. Take all the hits to the vag. Playing soccer, take a hit to the vag. Get tackled in the vag, it bounces right off it. Football, same thing. As for myself, I do like to, you know, I like to shave and then watch it grow back. Shave and watch it grow back. That's what I do with my own. It's been some time since I've been in a relationship, so I've let it go. It's just bush right now. I will shave it probably soon time. It is nice to see what's down there at this time, but I'm just saying aesthetically, it'd be nice to have a little bit of option instead of everything. And again, I'm gonna hear about this. I'm gonna hear about this. A lot of relax it all. Get rid of it all. I don't want to see. You're gay. You're a gay man, and that's all right. It's okay. It's okay. It's hard to verbalize it. I know it's all right. It's okay. But you're gay. real men, real sturdy men, like a bush. And with that note, I'll leave you be. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, peace out. Get out of here.